Disclaimer: the story contains themes of abuse, violence, bullying, trauma, death, and references and discussions about suicide, as well as having NSFW content sometimes. We are obviously not going to go to that NSFW, but if any of these themes trigger you, please advance with caution. Okay? And if you go read on your own, I better not get in trouble. Okay? Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to... Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Memoir. I'm your host, Will, and this is...
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Pikamain. And as always, our favorite woman on this channel, May.
Aren't I the only woman on this channel?
No, Lily exists. And Elizabeth.
Great.
Oh dear.
Anyway, I'm going to stab you. Pikamain. Put down the fucking ukulele.
Fuck.
Shut up
Hold on,
and eat a dick. Fuck's sake.
Okay, sound is on.
Okay, thank you. Alright. Let's do our jobs.
This is a job?
I don't know if I said this line.
Are we getting
Does
paid?
that mean I'm getting paid for this?
Yeah, where's my
That's
money?
the end goal, everybody. That's the end goal. Oops. Okay. When I returned, take out food in hand, my eyes immediately fell onto the diary. Still exactly where I left it, tossed haphazardly onto the deck at the end of my bed. I can't exactly return it, so I guess it couldn't hurt to read it. Plus, I might be able to figure out who the diary belongs to. I took a seat on the barely cushioned chair, trying to ignore the guilt in my chest. At least I have a gap in the back for tales. Making sure the diary isn't in splash range, I eat some of my sweet and sour chicken. I'd be horrified if I returned the diary covered in food stains, and you would also be killed. What do you mean, ah?
Oh.
Okay. Satisfied, I open up the diary and find a frustrating surprise. On the inside of the cover, written in a large font, property of Lynn Lawson. Please call 202-555-106 to return. I feel like I'm staring at it for an eternity before it finally registers. Seriously? Embarrassment and a little anger rise in my chest as I feel extremely stupid for trying to pry information out of the receptionist instead of just checking inside the diary. It's only 8:21 p.m. Surely they wouldn't be asleep yet. Trying to ignore the apprehensive feeling whispering in my ear, I dialed the number. Do I just tell her I was snooping through her diary? Sure, she'll understand if it's to return it. Right? But instead of any of the options I'm expecting, a second surprise awaits me. Sorry, but the phone you've called is no longer active. This is your number. Please call, cause... I cut the pre-recorded message off before releasing a large sigh, though it might as well have been a groan. Tossed my phone onto my bed, closed the book, and decided to deal with it tomorrow. Fully grabbing my laptop, I started a movie and grabbed my food, ready to settle in for the night. Fuck, I ended right before the next day. Oops.
What do you mean?
The last episode. I ended it right before the end of the day.
Yeah.
Don't just, me, after I say that.
I don't understand. What do you want?
What do you want us to say?
To feel sad for me.
What do you want us to say? Say what the
Boo-hoo.
fuck? Well, how dare you?
Right, yeah. I was being stupid,
Well, you
sorry.
fuck up.
Oi!
What
That's mean.
do you want us to say?
I literally asked you to be nice to me, not to be mean to me. That was literally the opposite.
Instructions unclear.
I'm gonna throw the lighter at you.
Where are you gonna pull it out of this time? Who are you gonna pull it out of this time?
What?
You pulled the chair out of him.
What the fuck?
Who are you gonna pull the lighter out of this time?
It's in my hands. It doesn't need to be pulled out of anybody. Okay, anyway. Rushing out of Edmund Hall, I rushed through the busy crowds of students leaving their classes. Biology took a little bit longer to finish than expected. It's only 5 minutes past our meetup time, but it leaves a bad impression if I'm late to the first meeting. Even with running the rest of the way, it takes a couple of minutes to reach the library and I'm covered in sweat. I don't even want to know what I smell like. Curse my Muslim lineage. I really should have let Lucas come get me. If both of us were late, it wouldn't be so awkward. The library is a lot bigger than I expected. It has 3 stories and students are flowing constantly in and out of the building. Standing next to the doors is a familiar fox. As I approach him, he catches sight of me and wanders over. His aloof demeanor reminded me of when I first saw him. He's wearing a very similar outfit to yesterday. A dress shirt and tie, this time without the vest. His fur is considerably cleaner and his eyes aren't matted like yesterday. Their auburn color stands out like a lighthouse in a sea of dark fur. Saying he looks better is an understatement. It's like looking at a completely different person. His entire body is more animated too. It's very handsome. That cold aloofness melts slightly when the gap between us closes, and it's like his entire body explodes into motion, from his ears twitching to his tail flicking about. But most importantly, his eyes are burning like an inferno, their warmth spreading to the rest of his body. We stop in front of each other, but not a word is said as I continue to stare into his eyes, only barely catching sight of his ears reddening from the attention in my peripheral vision. My staring is making him nervous. I have to break the ice before it gets too awkward. Were you waiting out here for me?
Yeah, and to get away from the others.
Is there some kind of problem?
Not really. They're fine. It's more with me. I just don't think we mesh well. At least they don't with me.
I'm sure you'll get used to them. Should we head in?
I hope you're right, and sure. It's a bit confusing in there, so follow me.
Lucas wasn't kidding when he said the place was confusing. First floor is filled with students, but apparently there aren't any study tables down there at all. It's just for books and checking them out. Second floor has a bunch of libraries. Nope, that's not correct. It's fine. Everything's okay. Second floor has a bunch of tables set up for university students to use. Even though it's a public library, only students are allowed up there. Upon reaching the second floor, I'm overwhelmed by just how many students there are. There's got to be at least 20 tables, and almost all of them are occupied. I'm really grateful to have Lucas here with me, otherwise I might have wasted time trying to find my group. Finding a bunch of strangers is no easy task. As I get closer to the table, though, I recognize 2 of the figures. The first is a certain otter, leaning forward on the table with some rather shocked-looking eyes, stares at me. His astonishment doesn't last long, as he gives me a bright smile that searches from ear to ear. He really is the happy-go-lucky type. He's wearing a different outfit this time. That of his lax button-up shirt, he's now wearing gaudy green tank top with an assortment of shapes and colors. It's a pretty stark difference to the type of clothes he had worn to class yesterday. Second, and honestly more unexpected of our little group, is the possum leaning back in his chair. He's still clad in that same leather jacket, leaning back on his chair, allowing me to see his ripped up jeans. I wonder if they're genuinely ripped or just a stylistic choice. I'm honestly scared to ask. He's looking much more surprised than the others, though there's some concern mixed into his eyes. Lucas sits down next to the otter. Everything's fine. Lucas sits down next to the otter, refusing to look at anyone at the table. I have a feeling Lucas is the one who doesn't mesh well with them, not the other way around. There's a palpable coolness between him and the rest of the group. The way the possum is staring at me, it catches my attention. There's concern in his gaze as he looks me over with a furrowed brow.
Jesus, kid. You look like shit.
Hold on. I need to read.
You certainly do.
I certainly do, okay? And you look like you crawled out of a dumpster from a trailer park. So I don't think you have room to judge. Was it wrong?
Same problem as last time.
Fuck!
You were way too calm for nervous Lucas.
And you look like you crawled out of a dumpster from a trailer park. I don't think you have room to judge.
Better. The possum's expression turns to one of confusion at the Vulpine's remark. His attention immediately diverts over to him. A little bit of sadness is poking through the hard exterior, but mostly just confusion at a sudden attack. By the way his ears are lowered, I think that comment stung. Jesus. Lucas certainly hasn't mellowed out from yesterday. Actually, he might be worse. He's definitely less upset, but he didn't lash out that bad yesterday. I wonder if being in a group is making him act out. He doesn't come across as the type used to socializing. Hope he's able to feel more comfortable soon, for everyone's sake. Miss Lily.
Anyway,
An unfamiliar woman's voice catches my attention, and I turn to who I can only assume is Lily, standing in front of her chair with her hands clasped in front of her chest. I had completely forgotten she was here. The others are such eccentric characters, they dragged all my attention to them. She's a small canine, definitely shorter than me, which is pretty rare. Most people tend to dwarf me by at least a couple inches. Her features are soft and comforting, a stark contrast to our fellow Vulpine and marsupial members. She's wearing a light yellow cardigan. It looks hand-knit and very comfortable. It's a nice contrast to her rather dark fur color. Underneath, she's wearing a cute pink dress that only goes halfway down her thigh. I can see the lighter fur in her thighs causing me to look back up to her face, my ears burning with embarrassment. She's got a smile on her face. Hers feels very maternal and subdued, unlike the otter's boisterous giant grin.
Wallace, please take a seat.
She's gesturing to the seat across from her.
Seriously, please. There's been a fair bit of bickering, and I want to start so we can all introduce ourselves. Hopefully things mellow out.
For a split second, I think she's kidding, but despite her genuine smile, there's traces of fatigue scattered across her features. Not enough for me to worry, but enough to see that it's a little tiring. I quickly take my seat, not wanting to hold her up before anyone else can say anything else. Lily continues.
So, as you can probably guess, I'm Lily Rose. Yes, it's a weird name. No, I'm not from a family of florists.
Okay, love that joke. She gives... what? God damn it, Pikamain. She gives a light chuckle at her own joke. It's a warm laugh that causes my lips to twist into a grin. It's so contagious.
We've already introduced ourselves while we were waiting, so I'll just introduce you to them now.
She gestures over to her right, towards the out-of-place marsupial.
This is Ash.
A sudden glare in her direction forces her to cut herself off, though she brushes it off with a laugh pretty fast.
I mean, this is Leigh Scott. He's rather quiet from what I can tell.
We ran into each other at yesterday's lecture.
Wait, who is who? Is it the otter guy?
Yes,
It's
Otter.
the guy who just appeared in frame.
Yeah, and considering that we know everyone else's name, gee, I wonder who question mark is.
Huh.
It was literally, might I add.
Lily is looking at us with an inquisitive expression, obviously curious. Lay, on the other hand, has his eyes closed and he's shaking his head, but I can see the corners of his mouth curving up just a little bit. Yeah, I kind of almost tripped over and he caught me. He even saved my laptop. I lifted my laptop bag for emphasis, trying to ignore the unimpressed looks I know I'm getting. It would have smashed everywhere if it wasn't for him.
Okay, but
Are you alive? Are you okay? It is 12 p.m. Why are you yawning?
actually, it is
Oh, it's already 1. Never mind.
one for me.
I didn't know. I didn't see the hour turned over. Okay, shut up.
I also would have smashed if you looked where you were going.
Oh, I shift towards the Volpine, and he shuffles uncomfortably in the seat. He sneers, but it's not directed at us. Attention firmly on the table.
Sorry.
Lay, who has been silent this whole conversation, finally speaks up.
Are you doing alright, kid? Not hurting anywhere? You still had a rather hard thump against me.
I'm fine. It's not like I smacked into the ground. You really saved me there.
Still pretty hard. I had to check.
For a second, I think he's trying to show off or keep up some kind of badass facade, but his face looks serious. I can't tell if that makes me worried or curious.
Hard. Huh. What a weird way to put it. Can I check?
The smooth, familiar voice of the otter from yesterday asks next to me, and I nearly let out a sigh. He's been flirty with me so far, but this is rather shameless. Expecting the teasing or lecherous expression on the other, I am left agape by the genuine curiosity across his face. He's already leaning across the table, his excitement palpable.
I'll
There-
never get over that fucking face.
That smile. That goddamn smile.
Punt.
Anyway, there doesn't seem to be any of that playful flirtiness in his body language. Until he notices me examining him, then his eyes flick over to me and give me a wink. Doesn't seem like he's too interested in the other guys. I'm not sure if that makes me happy or embarrassed. I know what makes me. Being flirted with is not something I'm used to. Is this even flirting, or is he playing with me? But I can't exactly be sure.
Okay, boys, we're getting a little off topic, even if watching you guys is fun.
Now Lily's wearing an even larger smile than before. Doesn't rival the otters, but she looks happier now that we're getting along better.
Well, the guy next to you is...
Oscar! Oscar Castle!
He immediately bounces over to me and wraps an arm around my shoulder. Oh! This guy has no concept of personal space, does he?
I already knew your name too. So we're on even footing now. It's a cute name.
Wait, you do?
Yeah, she kinda called you out a few minutes ago. Are you even listening?
His words are cut off so abruptly that I wonder if someone stopped him, but instead, he's looking down at the table with an annoyed expression, his left hand tugging awkwardly at his ear. Before I can muster up the start of a response to the folk's strange behavior, Oscar's bouncing and light tugging brings my attention back to him.
Man, don't act so snappy. We knew his name before he even got here. It's not hard to figure out when we have a list of names and we met everyone else already. I am trying to read as I'm speaking.
Oscar's awkward wording only helps to highlight his naturally bubbly personality. Definitely isn't the type to worry about the details. I wish I could be like that. One thing that is beginning to worry me is the other people in the library. Our contact and bouncing around got the attention of the people around us. They don't look annoyed, just confused. Oscar, no one's looking. Let's had a deep chuckle, his chest vibrating against my cheek. I have to tilt my neck back far to be able to see his face. That massive smile shows no care for the ideas around us.
Bah, don't worry about them. They don't care. They just want to get their work done and go home.
I am about to complain again, but he takes his arm off of me before I do.
But I don't want to make you uncomfortable. You're looking like you had a... Fuck. You're getting that look you had a... Fun! I can't read. But I don't want to make you uncomfortable. You're getting that look you had in front of the lecture hall yesterday.
A breath I didn't know I had been holding in is finally released, only to be cut off by a quiet gasp as I feel something touch my tail. It's Oscar's tail! Normally What? What did you say?
Step on that tail. He wanna touch me
Oi.
with his tail. I'm gonna fucking step on it.
That's mean. Step on his dick and
Personal space.
Ball Crusher 9000. Anyway. Normally I just... No. Normally I just assume it's a mistake, except that he runs it down the entire length of my... Never mind, step on the tail.
Exactly!
Normally I just assume it's a mistake, except that he runs it down the entire length of my tail before slipping it back to his seat. He's really weird, isn't he?
Careful, you're going to overheat him.
My eyes snap over to Lay, and I'm suddenly very aware of how hot my ears are. Blossom is easily able to see exactly what the otter was doing. I'm fine. I was embarrassed. Glancing up at Oscar, he's looking rather proud of himself. So again, I'm left in a confusing spot, or if his teasing is supposed to be genuine flirting or just playful reaving.
You look like a tomato. I can even see your blush through your fur.
I'm not used to the attention, okay? People don't tend to really approach me often or are that affectionate in public.
If you call that affection.
No.
If you call that
Yeah, Lucas! Tell him!
I wish people would annoy me less. Are you always this much of a downer? You sound like someone just killed your pet.
Sorry, not all of us have the brains of a peanut and can be satisfied with flashing lights.
Hey, that's a little... But I'm cut off this time by Oscar's laughing. Doesn't look upset with what was said at all. In fact, he's still got that massive smile on his face.
It's not wrong. I do love a good light show. Reminds me I haven't been in the club. Reminds me I haven't been to a club in ages. Fuck.
Relief spreads across Lucas's face, and he lets out the breath he's been holding. Shoulders sagging as he relaxes just enough to be noticeable. I think Oscar's response actually calmed him down a bit. He still looks uncomfortable, but better than when we first came in. If last night was any indication, he's not a bad guy, it's just socially awkward. Lily and Lay are looking at the two of them with a mixture of confusion and concern.
Sorry. Yesterday was a bit of a rough day, and I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I'm feeling much better today, though. I got a bit of pep talk, and it really helps. I'll try not to snap as much anymore.
I wonder if he's referring to me. It seemed much better after the shadow last night.
I don't mean anything by it. When I insult you, I mean. I'm just a bit of an ass and say things without thinking.
What? I think they're pretty funny. I don't mind.
I wonder for a second if he's kidding, but then I remember just how insanely positive he is, and I don't even need to check his face to see he's being genuine.
I've heard worse.
Oh right, yes, that's me. Hello, ha 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 ha. I glanced over to the possum with a fur. Shut up. I glanced over to the possum with a fur to my brow. The memory of his crestfallen ears after what the fox said to him earlier still fresh in my mind. Seems to notice my confused glare and looks back with his own confused expression before quickly shifting back to his calm stoicism.
That was more out of shock. It was pretty sudden. I've been called much worse.
His face is pretty neutral and hides his feelings well, but I can see the inners of his ears turning a darker shade of pink. Guess when you have such huge ears, you can only hide so much. That's
I thought it
just
said large, not huge.
What? Wow!
Large ears.
What the fuck? I guess when you have such large ears, you can only hide so much. He's got such a scary appearance, but he doesn't feel threatening anymore. When you see someone blush, it's hard to be as scared of them as I used to be. The others look pretty confused at the comment, but before they can get back into it, Lily barges back into the conversation.
At this rate, we're going to be here all day with introductions. Lastly, we have our last member. He's...
Lucas. Yeah, I met him already. Lives in the same apartment building as me, so we headed home together.
Well, isn't that convenient? At least if you guys need help to get in contact with someone in the group or need some help, you have someone nearby.
Yeah. Was a big help. It was a pretty shitty day.
What happened?
I don't feel too comfortable discussing it.
Come on, you can tell me. I don't mind.
No, it's really fine.
Please. I promise it'll feel much better to talk about it.
I would be having a fucking episode if I were Lucas in that situation, honestly.
Like, please leave me alone!
Same.
Lucas looks genuinely uncomfortable, shoveling in the seat and avoiding Lily's gaze at all costs. I'm not sure if it's the attention or the attempts to help, but he's looking at me with pleading eyes. I'm really not used to being the one asked for help, but I should step in. He did mention that he wasn't used to a lot of attention. Hey, let's stop with the interrogation. That's probably not going to help anything. Lily's ears perk up and she pulls back from Lucas, pressing his ears down in shame. Did I say something wrong? Looking towards the others for an option, I'm left out to dry by their lack of reaction. Lay's only looking towards us with a raised brow, and Oscar's just happy to be here.
I'm just happy to be here.
Shut the fuck up, Oscar!
You're right, sorry. I was just wanting to help, but I think I just made him uncomfortable.
Despite looking calmer than moments ago, Lucas sinks back into his seat with an embarrassed look on his face. His face is so flushed that he can see his cheeks reddening even through his dark hair. What an odd duck. Jumps from abrasive to timid at the single inkling of attention. When he looks towards me, those brown eyes burning with relief and gratitude, a smile on his lips. Your hair is so beautiful. I'm going to get lost in it again.
You look really cute when you blush, dude.
I'm snapped back to reality by the shameless comment the otter next to me just spouted.
Maybe you should look more like that and less pouty.
What did you say it like that?
I don't know.
Maybe you should look
It's
more
a-
like that and spouty. It's like, why
I
did
don't
you
know.
do that?
It's the vibe Oscar is giving me. I
Well,
don't
that's the
like
vibe
it, but I'm
Oscar is
playing
always
around.
giving.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. Fuck you, Oscar.
Why would you do this to everyone? Do.
I will say your Wallace is a lot more Oscar neutral this time.
Yes, because I'm not forcing Wallace to have my views on Oscar, even though I want to drop kick him off a bridge. So, yippee! Yay to being able to differentiate your thoughts from the character's emotions. Yeah!
Whoop-de-doo.
Shut the fuck up.
It's hunky-dory.
Kill your...
That's my response to that.
What the hell? If it was anyone else, I would have assumed they were making fun of him, but there's always this sense of sincerity in his voice. Lucas seems to notice this too, his eyes wide as saucers, and he sits up straight. Wow, his entire body looks like it's prickling up, ears all the way to his tail. Suddenly, that high-strung image of him is shattered as he slams his hands down on the disc loudly, causing Lily and myself to jump.
So, what's the topic for this stupid shit?
Congratulations for the first line in this goddamn fucking episode. I didn't need to ask you to be less calm. What? That's not Wallace. What?
The project for the class, you know? The reason we're wasting our fucking time in here. Sure you didn't forget that already. You're not that dense, right?
It's getting aggressive again. Looks like he lashes out when he's embarrassed too. It's a little cute, honestly. Hard to take seriously with that look on his face. Though I could do without the massive attention-grabbing commotion. The whole study area got quiet and everyone's looking at us. Lucas notices too and whips his head around to the other tables, a fiery look on his eyes.
What?
Boom.
Did that even get picked up?
Yes, it did. Surprisingly.
Holy shit!
Holy ball!
The holy balls.
Shut the fuck up. No, let's ignore that comment and move on. Lucas yells out to the entire floor. Everyone continues to stare, and I feel myself begin to sweat under their gaze. Anyway. It's not like the fox looks much better after that. His ears are twitching constantly, and his claws are digging into the table. Even Oscar falters at that, his smile shrinking down to just a small nervous smirk. I don't think things went as planned.
Hey man, I didn't mean anything but...
A glare from the fox shuts Oscar up. It's a mixture of annoyance and a bit of fear. A few seconds of silence, Lucas relents and sits back in his chair, though it looks more like he's trying to crush himself into it. I take back what I said about barely being able to see his blush before. Now it looks like it's changing the fur color around his muzzle. It's so intense. His ears look like they've been painted red on the inside. A heavy mood weighs down on our group. It's hard to know where to even go after that.
Maybe we should discuss the project.
I don't think we're gonna do that, Lay. I think we're gonna end the episode.
Wow, I can. I'll
You
go
can.
work out then.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Island Memoir, and if you did, like, comment, and subscribe to any of the things in any order. I don't really mind, and if the content on my channel wasn't enough to satisfy you, can go over to Pikamain's channel.
Right. Where I also do some stupid shit.
Yes. And if you want more of May, haha, you can't. If you want more of May, come back here. That's that's the deal. And I hope that I get to see you in the next episode, but even if I don't, I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye!
Bye.